Hello, people. Welcome to. Hello. Welcome to a different Tuesday game. Currently I'm leaving it on a blank screen because most often when there's a release of a new set, MTGArena does some sort of cinematic-y thing with it, or they do some introductory thing. So instead of watching it by myself, I'm gonna open the game on stream and watch it at the same time and hope that there's actually something cool and like cinematic-y, because otherwise it's just a disappointment for not waiting. But hey, we're gonna wait a few more moments just in case someone joins a bit later. But yeah, today, as the title states, is the release of Phyrexia All Will Be One on MTGArena, which is the new set of Magic the Gathering. It has more new cards, new game mechanics, as with every set. But all of it is still Magic the Gathering. I am not well versed in the lore of what's going on exactly, but essentially Phyrexians survived their annihilation forever ago and have been slowly plotting how to take over not just Dominaria, which is the main main plane of the settings, but have instead figured out a way to take over the entirety of the multiverse so that they can lay claim to everything and make every plane a Phyrexian home. A group of 10 planeswalkers decided to go essentially attack Phyrexia themselves. And this set has seen that 5 of them get completed or turned into Phyrexians themselves. Phyrexianized. And so we've got 5 Phyrexian planeswalkers and 5 non-Phyrexian planeswalkers, all fighting over the fate of the multiverse now. And in the set, 2 sets before, was Dominaria United, where the Phyrexians started actually popping out of the woodwork again in the modern era. And they started fighting, and it started bringing all these other planeswalkers in the set after that, right before this one that we're about to open up the game to, was Brothers War, which was Teferi using time magic, going back into the past to figure out how to use the super weapon that they found so that they could try and destroy the Phyrexians once and for all. And while things happened in the present era as well that led to them planning and plotting and how to get to Phyrexia to try to fight. And now the current set is the planeswalkers did planeswalk to Phyrexia and are attempting to fight. Half of them get Phyrexianized, and now in the upcoming sets it is, well, can they be saved? What's going on? Can you actually revert Phyrexianization so that you can save these other planeswalkers? In the sets before those 3, you find the other praetors, the other leaders of Phyrexia in different parts of the multiverse, trying to learn about things and learn how to do stuff. Urabrask is one of those praetors. He actually does not like Elish Norn, who's the mother of all Phyrexia right now. Elishnorn is the main praetor of this set. The set of Brothers War was Shieldred. Or no, the set of Dominaria United was Shieldred. Urabrask was on New Capenna. Vorinclex was in Kaldheim, which is a Norse mythology set. And that was the first time that the praetors showed up in a long, long while. And then all the way back in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, you find Jin-Gitaxias and him experimenting with how to first turn Planeswalkers into Phyrexians. And that is a horribly, horribly brief rundown on what the heck is going on before I load the game, because you might need that. You might need that small amount of context. Now, I load the game, and we will see if there is a cutscene, which has been the whole reason not to start the stream on Arena already. I don't have a fancy background thing. I should probably get one made. That would be cool. Maybe I should do that. Just have a background of just, hey, this is just here. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Yeah. Now that I've thought about that, maybe I should do that. So you're not just staring at a blank screen like this all the time. Now I'm trying to get OBS to actually capture the screen before okay. My computer makes it sound like it's working. Everything else is telling me it's working. I'm not seeing anything, which makes me think it's not working. But yeah. Brief overview of, hopefully, I know that what I said did not make sense. Like, even if you know the Magic lore of what's going on, you did not follow what I said at all. And I'm sorry for that. I'm really bad at keeping things in chronological order and explaining stuff. Sorry. But hey, I tried, right? That's the important part. I could have just gone, Phyrexia 1v1, new set, good luck, follow along, please. But hey, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, host quote-unquote things? Quote-unquote host? I guess would be the correct way to say that. Yeah. I'm not good at English, even though it's my basically only language. Like, I know a little bit of French. But that does not mean that I am good at English, the native tongue to which I was born. Alright, well, Phyrexia all will be one, brought to you by Phyrexia and their invasion. Now releasing Phyrexians into all of Dominaria. Oh yeah, I guess I should also explain what magic is a little bit. That might make it no, it would probably confuse it. I don't know now. Yeah. I feel like if I tried to explain magic, it would be worse than if I just kept playing games of magic while you don't know what's going on, because I will either over-explain it to the point that it makes no sense, or over-explain it to the point that it is entirely confusing and it makes so much sense that there's no point. Those are the only two ways I can see me trying to explain what or how to Magic is. Yeah. This is me kind of just stalling for the fact that I forgot that I would have to update MTGArena by opening it. And because I chose not to open MTGArena so that I wouldn't spoil some cutscene that may or may not happen, now I'm just trying to let the game load. So like right now it's determining the needed assets. And boy, does it need assets to be able to play the game, because otherwise it's just not going to play the game. It's kind of what assets do. See, I could explain that a whole lot, like, concise, but I can't with Magic. And considering how much I play this game, I wish I could be short, sweet, and concise and to the point of what I'm trying to get to with Magic. Because I just wish that I could. No, I'm not good at that, sadly. Yeah. But hey, at least it's trying to load, so I don't have to keep stalling for time. So I want to play this game. B, I want to open the packs because it's fun. It is fun to open packs. Yes, it probably is. It is somewhat gambling. Yeah. Ooh. It showed up. It showed up. Is it showing on the stream? Please. Initializing audio, loading initial scene. OBS shows that it is working. Please stream. Okay, it's a little off center. I can fix that, I think. I think it's fixed. No, Arena. Arena says it's crashing. It's loaded.
These planeswalkers' help is welcome, but might be too little too late.
I think it's working. It looks like it's working. I'm just waiting to see it pop up on the stream to know that that's actually working. Okay. Cool. Look, we got... I may or may not have bought the stuff beforehand so that I could actually open packs now. But look, we got all the Elish Norn, the Mother and the Machines, the Phyrexian Praetor that I was talking about, and then my favorite Planeswalker.
I'll take note of all your failures.
Oh, that's terrifying. Favorite plane. Well, okay. I have two favorite Planeswalkers, Jace and Nissa, and you'll see Nissa. Hopefully. Yeah. Look. Ta-da! Getting started. Or get started. Yay! Phyrexia all will be one! Oh, this is in Phyrexian. Exult in the glory of Phyrexia with the new set mastery, premier draft, and more. Take these 3 1-pack. Take these 3 1-packs and 5 basic lands and become complete. Sure. Oh, this is what they're. Ew. Those aren't cool. I don't like. Okay, I like the artwork, but the actual land cards, like the physical cards, look so much cooler. And there's some patch notes that I will never actually read, but I'll pretend that I'll read later. Yeah, I'm really good at pretending that I read them. Probably just bug fixes. Matchmaking scheme, matchmaking changes, things like that. Nothing that I'm really interested in. I'm just trying to load the store because, yeah, this artwork of this is what I was looking at. These are cool. These are just nifty. Like, I like the swamp, but I like the island, and I like the plains because of the Phyrexian symbol being in the middle. But these look sick. You have the Phyrexian text on the sides going down it. Oh. And now one of the real reasons that all of these in Phyrexian text too. Well, whole reason I have so many gems, I've been saving for this because I thought about it until today. I have just enough gems to be able to get 45 packs and 1 free random card. Green Sun's Twilight with the Green Sun's Twilight there. I can claim that. And because it's so much more fun this way, 10 mythic packs in which you are guaranteed a mythic rare. And now I have 20 gems left. And I did that quite particularly, that I had exactly enough gems to be able to do that. So, yay! Now I have 104 Phyrexia packs, 10 mythic rare packs that's guaranteed mythic rares, and then 10 that are, hey, you spent a bunch of stuff to get all these packs. Gold packs have rares and mythic rares of all standard sets, I believe it was, or something like that. But I want to open the regular packs first. I'm going to solo open a few of them. Gasp! They're all new cards. Black Sun's Twilight. To one target creature gets -X to -X. X is 5 or more. Return a creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tab. So creature destruction and reanimation. Okay. Jorkadine. First gold warden. Whenever attacks gets +6. Next is the equipped creatures you control. And if its power is 4 or greater, draw a card. Okay. Yeah, I'm just basically gonna keep opening these one at a time until I get to 100. So, oh, Koth.
Fists up.
Koth. He's a planeswalker. That's about all I gotta say about him. So many people don't like this planeswalker. I mean, it's good in a mono red deck. It guarantees you a land drop the next turn, if not this turn. It's got removal on it. Hopefully, removal. And then it has a finisher as an emblem. But the problem is getting to the emblem doesn't exactly do much. It doesn't have a way to protect itself consistently, is the other problem. Tekuthal, Inquiry Dominus. Oh, this is the Proliferate guy. Yeah. I want this card physically, like, in my hands, because I have an actual, like, deck that I want to put this in. And it'll be great. Yeah, if you would proliferate twice instead. So every time you proliferate, do it twice. I've got a green deck that has a lot of proliferation currently in it, but this set also gives quite a bit more proliferation. So now I've got a cool new way to proliferate twice. I'm going to start opening 10 at a time, and then I'll slow roll the gold packs and the mythic packs, because those are cooler. Yeah, okay. So this will just show all the rares that I get. The duplicates of Urbrusque's Forge, Azuri Stalker of Spheres. Enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 if you do, proliferate twice, and then whenever you proliferate, draw a card. So pay 3 mana on enter the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Monument to Perfection. Search your library for basic sphere, locust land card. Field, put in your hand, then shuffle. For 3 mana, it becomes a 9/9 Phyrexia construct artifact creature, loses all abilities and gains indestructible and toxic 9. Can only be activated if there are 9 or more lands with different names among the basic, sphere, and locust lands you control. Interesting. This Phyrexian rogue can't be blocked. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. When it deals combat damage to a player, you can remove 2 oil counters. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. Okay. Copperland Gorge, called a fast land, because if you have 2 or fewer, and the way that it is worded, if this is your 3rd land, or earlier, it enters untapped. Fast mana, fast land. Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card, and other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Phyrexian mana. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a blue artifact engine. Some of these cards, this is the first time I'm seeing them, and that's why I'm reading them. Sorry for slowing down a bit. Some of these, I've seen them in paper, and so I kind of already understand what's going on. Like Vron Executioner thing, I went to pre-release and this guy helped me win a few games, so I know what it does. This is one of the spheres that that prior card, the prior card mentioned, the Seed Core Monument thing, or the Monument, whatever it's called. Venser Corpse Puppet. Lifelink Toxic 1. Whenever you proliferate, choose one. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, create a Hollow Sentinel. Target an artifact creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. That's a little freaky. Little cool. Yeah, poison counters are back. They've been... Planeswalkers you control have proliferate, a -12, take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. Ooh. That's cool. Slow, but cool. I could build a deck out of that and kind of want to now. Argentum Masticore. First strike protection from multicolored. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you discard a card. When you discard a card this way, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the mana value of the discarded card. That's a little scary to deal with. Kemba Caw Enduring. Whenever it or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. Thrunbricker Silence. The spell can't be countered. Trample. Can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. As long as it's your turn, it has indestructible. So basically, if you're not playing green, you can't interact with this thing. That sounds kind of cheap. Anyway, 10 more packs. Whee! Ooh, new cards. Ooh, 3 Planeswalkers too. This is a 3rd Black Sun's Twilight. And the 3rd Urbrusque's Forge and the 2nd Seed Core. Blue-white Fastland, that's cool. Microsynth Gardens. X, and tap it, it becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. Not bad. Bloated Contaminator deals combat damage to a player. Proliferate. 4/4 trample toxic 1. Nice. Eternal Wanderer. Planeswalker. No more than one creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. Flicker a creature or an artifact. 0, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike, -4 for each player. Choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control not chosen this way. Which is nice. A board wipe. Board wipe right off the bat. Luca, Bound to Ruin. One of the other Phyrexianized guys. Or completed. Is the mechanic. Add Gruul mana. Spend this mana only to cast creature. Spells or activate abilities of creatures. -1. Create a 3/3 beast with toxic 1. -4. Luca deals X damage by you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers where X is the greatest power among creatures you controlled as you activated this. Kaya, hexproof. Self-explanatory. Also, it says it. +2. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3. 0, draw 2, then each opponent may scry 1. -3, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. I want to put one of these into my token deck, simply for the fact that the -3 can exile one of my own enchantments to create a token that's a copy of it that's also a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying. I don't have a lot of flying, but also it makes a token. And the whole shtick of that deck is doubling tokens. So this will double the tokens. I want one. I'm gonna put that Kaya in a deck. That's one reason I'm really happy to get that. Another fast land, another one of the Microsynth Gardens. Sword of Forge and Frontier. There are now 9 total swords of blank and blank. So this is really cool to be in this set now. And here, the Unforgiving. Also completed Planeswalker until your next turn up to 1 target creature attacks a player each combat if able. Actually, attacks a player. It does not say player or Planeswalker. So it protects itself in that way. +1, discard a card, then draw a card. 0, exile target creature or equipment card with mana value less than Nahiri's loyalty from the graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. I believe Nahiri is decent and pretty good in some regards. I plan on putting her in a modern Hammer Time list just to try it. Hammer Time being turn 0 or turn 1, play a 0 mana creature, play a land, play a card that equips stuff for free. Turn 2, play 2 hammers, 2 Colossus hammers that do +10 damage twice, equip them, kill your opponent. Turn 2, win. But this is a backup plan of, oh, you got rid of the equipment? Well, I'll bring it back from my graveyard, I guess. And re-equip it and attack? Hope for the best. Monumental Facade, I don't even know about. Enters the battlefield, 2 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter from Monumental Facade. Put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control, but only as a sorcery. Oh, so that's good to keep oil counters going. For Mirrodin, when it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 rebel. Then attach it. +2/+2 flying and haste. Not bad, but for 5 mana you make a 4/4 flying haste. Little slow. A lot slow, honestly. Elish Norn! First one I've gotten that wasn't from a guaranteed thing. White Sun's Twilight. Gain X life. Create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Mites. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. And then a bunch of cards we've already seen. Skrelv's Hive. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and create a 1/1 Mite. Corrupted as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Creatures you control have toxic. Creatures you control with toxic have lifelink. Okay, I said that wrong. And then Slow Bad, Iron Golem. Sacrifice an artifact, add an amount of red equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana values. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Interesting. Interesting. We're halfway through the main packs. Granted, I'm opening them 10 at a time, so it's not too surprising. Blackcleave Cliffs, Fast Land, and Rakdos colors. Second one of them. This guy, Miglaw's Maze Crusher, is the most pushed 3 mana creature. 3 mana 4/4 pseudo planeswalker, as my friends were calling it. Pseudo planeswalker being that it has 3 abilities, much like planeswalkers, except for the only problem is they're all minus abilities, but you gotta pay mana to be able to do the stuff. Enters the battlefield with 5 planeswalker loyalty, quote unquote. Spend 1 mana, -1 loyalty. Gains vigilance and menace until end of turn. Spend 2 mana, spend 2 loyalty as well. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Spend 3 mana and 3 loyalty. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. See, it does a lot of stuff, and if you can give it more oil counters with that land that we saw earlier, oh, that's terrifying to keep out for way too long. Zenith Chronicler, Phyrexian Construct. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. This is niche. Like, it works well against one kind of deck. Like a 5-color deck tends to be decks that have a ton of multicolored spells. That's like the only time that this is good. And even then, this is not a main board card. You would not play this main board. And so if you're playing it as a sideboard card, you have way better options. And I'm not even that good at this game to know that this is how this card would be used. Evolve Spinoderm. Enters with 4 oil counters and has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer. Otherwise it has hexproof. So it starts as hexproof 5/5, hexproof 5/5, then trample 5/5. Beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from it. Then if it has no oil counters on it, sacrifice it. Mind Splice Apparatus. Flash, beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on an instant and sorcery spells you cast. Costs 1 less to cast for each oil counter on it. That seems okay. Especially if you have ways to give it oil counters more than just what you already have. Does not seem bad. It does not seem great. But it does seem okay. Especially in a spell slinging deck. Darkslick Shores, fast land for Dimir. Gotta love it. I like Dimir. I play Dimir a lot. 10 more packs. A lot of repeat cards. All will be 1. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be 1. Deals that much damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. There's a lot of infinite combos you can do. However, none of them are on Arena. Or if they are, I don't remember them off the top of my head. But I'm certain that there's at least one on Arena, and someone's gonna do it. And it's either gonna be super busted and make a card get banned for literally this reason, or it's gonna be super duper easy to counter and no one will ever play the deck because everyone will expect it. That's the only two ways that that's gonna work. Kethic, Crucible Goliath, Phyrexian Beast. At the beginning of your end step, you may sack another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Put it onto the battlefield, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Does that go into Rakdos Sacrifice? You may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. It has to have less mana value. Would I start running more 4-drops just so that I could have a chance of getting to Mayhem Devils on 3? This is an interesting thought process. I mean, I can always try it. It may not be great. It does say sacrifice another creature, so it does not work by itself. I mean, I can always try it. No harm in trying it. Venerated Rock Priest. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. There's probably some combo-y style deck that you could do with that. Archfiend of the Dross. Enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. It's a flying 6/6 4-mana demon. That's also Phyrexian. Not bad. Good stats. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from it. Then if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. Maybe it's not as good as it should be. Losing the game tends to be a downside. Especially if you are winning up until that point. It's a good beater. It kills your opponent in 4 turns, and it gives you 4 turns. Well, it gives you 3 turns to attack with it. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life. It's a drain effect. It's not a drain gain effect, but it's a drain effect. Seems okay. I don't think I'll ever play it with it, or ever try to play with it. Seems okay. Does not seem good, but seems okay. Hey, I only have to read 4 cards now. Out of 10. Spell costs 3 less to cast if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. So it costs 3 red if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. Yay. When it enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. I've seen people brew ways of how to mitigate the randomness. Like, while this is on the stack, you have cast it already. Before it has resolved, you cast another spell that gets rid of a lot of cards in your graveyard, which lets you then have that card in your graveyard, and then the other ones that you are actively picking to keep in your graveyard, it'll exile all 3 of those, and then you can pick one of those 3 cards that are left and basically cast that same spell twice by picking it. Something like that. I don't know how feasible that is on Arena, but that's what people have said. Hey, this card might be good in this very specific situation, in this very specific format, at this very specific time. So, niche card. Cool. Definitely niche. And it's a Phyrexian dragon. That's cool. It's a dragon. Mirror and Safe House, as long as it's on the battlefield, has all activated abilities of all land cards in all graveyards. It's another land, but it's an artifact for 3 mana. Yay! That's it. You can tap it, sacrifice it, draw a card. You can tap it, remove an oil counter from it that doesn't exist. You do that second half. You can tap it for whatever colorful mana is in the graveyard, because that's an activated ability. Yeah. Spend 3 mana to do that. Hope you have lands in your graveyard. That's all you can do. Soulless Jailer. Except for the jailer part. It's me. Permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. It's a hate effect. It's a stacks piece, I should say. Permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. So, okay. Reanimation spells tend to get kicked off there. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. Soulless Jailer will definitely be a good card against things like my Rakdos Sacrifice deck. Which is sad because I like my Rakdos Sacrifice deck quite a bit. Geth, Thane of Contracts, Phyrexian Zambi. Other creatures you control get smaller, but -1/-1. 3 mana, tap it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would leave the battlefield exiled instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate only as a sorcery. It lets you reuse a creature once. Cool. Next set of 10 cards. Hey, another Elesh Norn. Another weird Phyrexian dragon. That's very niche. You lose the game. Poison stuff. Yeah, cool. Red Sun's Twilight. Destroy artifacts. Yay, another red artifact destruction spell. For each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Woo, you get tokens. They get haste and are gone at the end step. You get 1 turn to play with your tokens. Whoop-de-doo. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Gift this to your opponent and all their stuff becomes artifacts that you can then use this Red Sun's Twilight to destroy. Niche use. Interesting combo effect. Probably bad combo effect. Malcator. I don't know. Purity Overseer. Phyrexian Elephant Wizard. That's not a freaking cool tag there. Phyrexian Elephant Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colors Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. This token, the one right in front of you. Beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. So if you have 3 or more, if you have artifacts enter the field, make more artifact tokens that are creatures. Seems okay. In an artifact synergistic deck, seems okay. In a not artifact deck, why the heck are you playing this? Last opening of 10 card packs at once. Yay! Phyrexian Arena, a much needed reprint. Kinda sucks to open it in a pack on a digital card game version though. Beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose a life. Look, it's Vraska, hugging Jace, completing Jace. Oh, the flavor text. For a bittersweet moment, Jace believed he could still save his love. A moment was all Vraska needed. For the glory of Phyrexia, she whispered. I don't know why I whispered it, but Vraska whispered it too. Jace got completed, and so did his lover. Technically, the first interspecies is not the word that I'm looking for here. This is technically the first queer relationship in Magic, because Jace and Vraska were a couple until things got errated and that no longer existed. But this is bringing it back as, yes, they were in fact a couple, because people hated that errata, understandably so. It's technically the first queer thing because he loves her even though she is not a female human person like most of the other planeswalkers are human beings. I say most of. And then immediately my brain thinks of, well, there's 2 dragons, there's another dragon guy that's now in here because of the D&D set, and there's a few other, there's a spirit dragon, there's a regular dragon, there's a vampire, which is not a human. Yeah, my brain immediately went, yeah, most of them are humans. Wait a second. Karn the Great Creator is a robot. Like, yeah, shut up. Shut up, brain. Stop thinking of things to autocorrect yourself to being wrong. Anyways, Vindictive Flamestoker. It's a fiery wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. 7 mana, sacrifice it, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. It costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on it. That sounds bad. And requires you to cast a lot of non-creature spells. Conduit of Worlds. You may play lands from your graveyard. Nice. Throwback to Crucible of Worlds. For less mana and no green mana. Tap it. Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Seems okay. Graz? Graz? Graz. I'm going with Graz. There's 2 A's. Graz. Unstoppable Juggernaut. 8 mana. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able. Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. Okay. Other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3 and are juggernauts in addition to their other creature types. Make all your creatures 5/3 juggernauts that have to attack and can't be blocked by creatures with defender, essentially. Walls that have defender. Legendary artifact creature juggernaut. Cool. Buffs your team. That's about it. Now we open these gold packs. They're called gold packs because for every 10 packs you buy of the same set, you get one of these. What's it contain? A lot of things. Look, a card from the same set. A card from the same set. A card that's not from this set. A card that's not from this set. A planeswalker from this set that said words that I totally talked over because I forgot about. And then a card that's already in Alchemy because there's 2 of them. So there's the actual card version and then the, hey, we messed up. Here's how we're trying to fix it. Oh, Hullbreaker Horror. Oh, I don't like that card. The regret of clicking on it. This is from Brothers War, Platoon Dispenser, Phyrexian Vindicator. New card. Arabrask. Croaking Counterpart. Yeah, so Phyrexia all will be 1. New Capenna. Streets of New Capenna. Phyrexian all will be 1. Phyrexia all will be 1. Current set. Brothers War. Midnight Hunt. No. No. Innistrad Midnight Hunt. No, this is Crimson Vow. Innistrad Crimson Vow. This is Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Midnight Hunt is the werewolves. That's why there's the wolf symbol. Crimson Vow is the vampires getting married. That's what this one is. I'm so good at remembering and recognizing set symbols. Temporal Anchor, the anchor. I started misreading it, so I said core. Brothers War. Midnight Hunt. Brothers War. Phyrexia, all will be one. Phyrexia, all will be one. Elish Norn. Definitely Phyrexia and Phyrexia, all will be one. Look, there's even the Phyrexia symbol in the middle of the words. I guess I should read Elish Norn because I haven't done that. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers in additional time. Did you follow that? No. Double your enter the battlefield effects. Yeah. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Stop your opponents enter the battlefield effects. Double your enter the battlefield effects. Elish Norn, a fair and balanced card. For 5 mana. Necro Duality. Whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield of control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Yay! Token doubling for zombies that aren't tokens. Lose the game demon. Greasefang. I don't like Greasefang. It's a new card. This is the first time I've gotten it, apparently. Adeline. Lord Xander. I like Lord Xander. Because he's got this fun thing that says when he attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded down. That's my favorite part of it. But I also play mill. So that's my favorite part of it. I don't like the 7 mana 6/6 part of it. But the mill part is my favorite part. Ooh, a lot new stuff. A lot of new things. Filigree Silex. Put an oil counter on it. Sacrifice it. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of oil counters on it. Remove 10 oil counters from permanents you control and sacrifice it. It deals 10 damage to any target. That seems okay as a... I mean, it's a win con. It's not a great win con, but you can win with it. Win condition. Sorry, I'll stop trying to shorten words. Sulfim Mayhem Dominus. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. If you throw a card called Lightning Bolt, which is not on Arena, at your opponent, instead of dealing 3 damage, it does 6. 6 damage is bigger. It does more damage. More damage is what red like. Red like deal damage, 2-face, quick. This is a red card. Through and through. And I've got an Intrepid Adversary. Human Scout. Spend a lot more mana. Make him valorous. Make other creatures bigger because of valor. I dumbed that one down a lot. Cover already has tendency at the beginning of every keep looking at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. If you don't put the card in your hand, you may put it on the bottom of your library. Okay. Exile creatures that die from your opponent's side. Another Koth. This guy. Fight rigging. Phyrexian Fleshscorch. Ooh, I finally got that. Maybe I'll actually be able to finish the Brothers War cards by opening these ones. Drivnod, Carnage Dominus. I wanted this one. Yes! If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. I wanted this one for Rakdos Sacrifice, because if I sacrifice one of my creatures, I get an effect twice. So it becomes sacrifice a creature. Mayhem Devil says, I'm going to hit something for 1 twice now. And then you can exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard to make him indestructible. And then you just have an 8/3 beater, which is nice.
Share the story of Phyrexia with your people.
The fact that words started happening made me shut up quickly. Tamio completed Sage. This is the first completed Planeswalker, which at the first 3 minutes of the stream, if you choose to go all the way back to the very, very beginning, this is the first Planeswalker that was completed that I was talking about. Yeah, Jin Gitaxis did a number on her. Whew. Now she's machine creature person. She was a moon sage, I believe was her race beforehand. I do not know the total story of Tamio. I used Tamio during War of the Spark stuff because she was good in my self-mill deck and that was it. I don't understand who she really is. But hey, she got completed first. She must be the lucky one, right? You don't have to suffer if all of your friends think you're dead. Probably something she thought. Oh, that's a sad, not good thing to say. I should have said it, sorry. It was funnier in my head. Deathbloom Ritualist makes mana for creatures that are dead in your graveyard. Skrelv, Defector Might. It's a 1/1 that can't block. Choose a color and the target creature you control gains Toxic 1 hexproof from that color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Yay, it's colorist! Yeah! Woo. I need to learn to keep my mouth shut when it doesn't matter, right? Urza assembles the Titans. It's not as cool as it sounds because the Titans aren't actually like that much of stuff. They don't do things as much. You can read ahead so you can skip chapters. Scry 4, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a Planeswalker, put it in your hand. You may put a Planeswalker card with mana value 6 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. You may activate the loyalty abilities of Planeswalkers you control twice this turn rather than only once. It's a good way to make a Super Friends deck. Super Friends meaning just a bunch of Planeswalkers all together in one deck. Yay. Lion Sash. I like this card in equipment decks. Kaido Dancing Shadow. New one from Phyrexia. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may return one of them to its owner's hand. If you do, you may activate loyalty abilities of Kaido twice this turn rather than only once. Up to one target creature can't attack or block until your next turn. 0 is draw a card. -2 is create a 2/2 colorless draw an artifact creature token with Death Touch, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2 life. Yay! Kaido was a ninja. Still kinda is. Has that fun ability of bounce a creature to do stuff.
Enough of your petty notions of morality. All that matters is power.
I just heard a very loud enough, and I stopped talking and my brain shut down of, oh, I'm getting yelled at now. Oh, Obnixilis. I like this card because I already use it in Rakdos Sacrifice, which is nice. Rakdos being black, red, the mana cost up in the top right corner of this guy. I realize I keep saying Rakdos Sacrifice as if that makes sense, but it's the name of one of my decks. It uses the colors of Rakdos and the Sacrifice mechanic to win games. I swear if this middle card that I click on is going to yell at me again, I'm going to shut up and not talk while I open the next one.
Things are old and wise. Heed their lessons.
Okay, it didn't yell at me. It was nice and peaceful, but still, it talked. Okay. I'm gonna stop reading those. I'm gonna just click the next one. It's a planeswalker. It does planeswalker stuff. Tablet of completion. Oh, this is the way that they completed stuff. Put on a counter on it, activate it. Make mana if it has 2 or more counters. Draw a card, activate only if it has 5 or more. That seems way too slow. Hey, this one says the enchanted player loses a game. If you enchant your opponent. Yay, you win. Mondrak, Glory Dominus. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Also really, really freaking cool and really good in my token deck. So I'm really looking forward to this one too. Now, we move on to the guaranteed mythic packs. Mythic pack. Well, that's a disappointment considering I just got one. I was super hyped about the first one, and now I got a second one, and my brain went, oh, what's that? Do I just click open all? I mean, we only care about the mythic, right? Yeah, I only care about the mythic. It's been an hour of me opening packs, and that's probably kind of boring. I want to build decks. Let's click open all 9 that are left, and then we'll start building decks. Well, all of them we already have, except for Jace we got for free guaranteed. He's a mill guy. I love Jace. Jace my favorite. He also does mill now again, which is great. He's back to being a mill planeswalker. I could not read that name for a second. Zopondrel, Hunger Dominus. Phyrexian Horror. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. So it not only doubles it on your turn, but on your opponent's turn. Which was fun to learn during pre-release. This guy was scary. I died twice to this guy. Well, okay, not specifically to this guy, to the rest of the board of creatures that my opponent had. It hurt a lot. Also, this guy has reach. I didn't even know that. It never even came up. I lost before it needed to reach anything. Vraska. This is a planeswalker I pulled actually in paper. This is the only one I got. Vraska, Betrayal Sting. Completed. 0. You draw a card and lose 1 life, and then proliferate. So essentially a +1. But you also get to make all of your other things that have counters go up by 1. Or your opponent get a poison counter. Get another poison counter if they already have a poison counter. -2. Target your creature becomes a treasure artifact. With tap, sack the artifact, add 1 mana of any color, and loses all other card types and abilities. That problem thing over there becomes a treasure. Yeah. -9. If target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. If they have fewer than 9, they now have 9. Which you would think would be enough to win, but in the same fight against the person with this, I got them to 9 poison counters and couldn't win, and I got them to 8 poison counters, still couldn't win. I lost. I'm slightly upset by it because I was so close numerous times to winning. I just could not pull through. I now have 103 uncommon wild cards. Wow. That's a lot of wild cards. Anyways, let's build some decks with new cards, right? That's the whole point of why I decided to stream today. Or why I decided to stream this instead of the normal tower defense games. First and foremost, Rakdos Sacrifice. instead of creating new decks right now, I'm going to adjust the decks I have. Misery Shadow should definitely be a sideboard card. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of Shieldred. I don't need 2 Shieldreds in the sideboard. Yeah, look at all these new cards that I got. Phyrexia Arena seems okay. Frasca, I don't think goes along with what I've got. Dominus, creature dying because of triggered ability. Now I can actually finally make the 2 Obnixilis in here. How many lands do I have? 2, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Ooh, that's a lot of lands actually. Let's go down 2 mountains. There's 22 lands. I do not have a blood crypt. Let's do the lands. Blackcleave Cliffs. There. Actually, these 2 sacrifice themselves to draw a card. They enter tapped, so they're a little worse. Well, not little. They are worse. I also can't be tutored up by what I have already. Target a 1/1 creature gets +2/+1. Excuse me. That's a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. 2 mana, it becomes an Onicult Anvil. 1 mana, it becomes a Witch's Oven. 1 mana, it becomes an Experimental Synthesizer. 0 mana, it becomes a treasure. Sometimes that can be helpful. 0 mana becomes a blood token. Or becomes a blood. Okay, let's stop looking at lands. That was very much sidetracked suddenly. There was that red black. Oh, I could put Koth in, but I don't have enough of the. If a source you control deal non-combat damage to an opponent, or a permanent an opponent controls deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. A lot of this deck is non-combat damage related. How much do I want to lean into this effect specifically? I feel like having the ability to still deal combat damage is better than letting it be, yeah, I don't need it. Charforger enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on it, remove 3 oil counters from it, or exile the top card of your library. You may play the card this turn. Catholic Crucible Goliath. When you sack another creature, if you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value, put it onto the battlefield. So if I sacrifice Shieldred, I could get Mayhem Devil, or all these other creatures. If I sacrifice Drivnod, I could get Shieldred or any of these other creatures. If I sacrifice Bloodtithe Harvester, I can get Voldaren Epicure or Cauldron Familiar. I can get 1 point of damage off my opponent. And potentially 1 life. If I sacrifice Voldaren Epicure or Cauldron Familiar, I get nothing. I feel like I just talked myself into this is not worth putting in, even to try it out. And I don't think this royally screws me over, except for the fact that it is a creature and therefore I could kill it. Yep. I just lost connection to the server somehow. Huh. And now I'm back. I got 3 swords. I got 3 swords of Forge and Frontier. I am so sad that I said Sworge. Sworge. I'm just gonna sit here in sadness for a second. I swear my brain and my tongue combined together to hate me. Wow. Okay. I'm moving on. Oh wait, this one said something about sacrifice. Sacrifice it unless you discard a card. Destroy a card in your hand. Okay. I'm moving on. Rakdos sacrifice done. It's off the list of what I was looking at. Wow. Token deck. We're looking for the keyword token, not yoken, token. God. My brain hates me with typing and with speaking. What's next? Breathing? Am I gonna forget how to breathe? Oh, I hope not. That would kind of suck. It would probably not be a good thing to just forget to breathe. Forgetting how to breathe. Oh. MTGArena stopped responding. Cool. It just does not want me to make this deck even a tiny bit better. Alright. Closing the program and reopening it. That's okay. How's everyone's day going? Mine's got brain pudding. Hey, at least I'm hydrating this time. The last time I tried to play Magic for an hour and a half, I wasn't drinking anything. My throat was killing me during that. Jeez. This time, at least, I have water. I was smart. Being an hour and 15 minutes in, my throat does not want to die. And I am actively still able to talk. and I just type the word token with those parameters, it won't try to pull up everything with the word token in it. It'll only pull up the new cards that I'm trying to add to this deck. Even though there still could be some good older cards that I don't know that I apparently now have, sort of thing. Why is the game crashing again? Come on, game. I mean, I'd rather it crash now while trying to build the decks than while trying to play with the decks where things are going bad. When this guy dies, create a colorless Phyrexia Might artifact. Creature token. It could be good. You lose a life and create a 1/1 colorless. As long as the opponent has 3 or more poison counters, creatures you control with toxic have lifelink. Make a token at the upkeep. That's not bad. Spend mana, create a token. Whenever a creature attacks, create a token. Return another permanent you control to its owner's hand if you do create a token. That's not horrible. Creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have first strike. Create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexia Might artifact. Toxic one, and this creature can't block. That's tempting for the fact that I don't have anything else that buffs my tokens. And I feel like that's probably a bad thing sometimes, that they're only 1/1s. Mondrak. One or more tokens would be created and you control twice that many. Yes! Mondrak is just another Anointed Procession, or another -2 on the Kaya Geist Hunter. I'll take it. I will go down 1 Sacred Cat, I think. Yeah. When this enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1s. Nope. Create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike. For each player. I don't want to blow up my own tokens. Again, I don't want to blow up my own tokens. Each opponent sacks a non-token creature. Each opponent sacks a creature token. Each opponent sacks a planeswalker. I can just attack into the planeswalker. Dies, create a 1/1 Phyrexia Might. That artwork of the Might looks really freaky. Looks cool compared to like this one, but freaky. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies. Well, that's not going to happen. Pay 2 life, exile it, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Non-token creatures I can bring back for no life and just 1 mana as a token. Non-token creature can bring back for mana and no life as a token. I'm good. I'm good with those. I don't need this card. I'm not even looking at green. Not looking at blue. This guy, beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal combat damage to 1 or more players, this combat prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless mites. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I mean, all my creatures are either 1/1s. Okay, Mondrak's a 4/4 now. It's a 4/4. Everything else is a 1/1. This makes 1/1s. This makes 1/1s. This makes 1/1s. This makes 1/3s. Or is a 1/3. This makes 1/1s. This makes 1/1s. It's not worth it. Kaya, Intangible Slayer. Make one of my enchantments into a token? Yes, please. Hurt others? Yes, please. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if Merrick's entered the battlefield this turn. Create a Phyrexian Might for 3 mana. I mean, the only problem is everything in my deck, excluding the Renegade map, requires at least one color. One source with color. Therefore, I don't want the Mycosynth Gardens in, or the Merrick's in, if only on that turn can it make, if only on one turn can it make a colorful entity. Like my Sheffet Dunes and my Avenir Deadlands, for 1 life, make colorful mana. But otherwise they don't make mana. Actually, no, I'll keep the not collected on. The fast lands are not in this color scheme. Okay. Well, we'll search with the word 2. Shattered Sanctum. I could finally get Concealed Courtyards for this deck. Could do it. I could put a Shattered Sanctum in. I've got 24 rare wild cards. Yeah, okay, I may as well. Let's do 2 of those. I'll take out 2 Fabled Passages. These 2 are my only green sources for if I need to sideboard in my creature and enchantment spells can't be countered. Or my mill counter. Okay. What I'm thinking right now is I take these 2 out. And I run it like this. Then okay, let's craft this. That's done. I'm going to copy this deck. Best of 3 token songs. Vert. Don't ask why I'm writing without green in French, because that was just where my brain was at when I first made the deck. Okay, just this how it works. Now I take the lands. I'm just gonna shortcut pathway. Green black, green white. Are there only 9 pathways? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. White blue, white black, white green, white red. Yeah, because there wouldn't be a white one. Duh. There wouldn't be a blue blue. There wouldn't be red red, black black, green green. Yeah. See, if I thought this through a lot better in my head before I said it out loud, I would feel a lot less dumb right now. I didn't think this through before I said it, and that immediately popped into my head as soon as I started trying to say words that I went, oh, yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I think in this case, to do this, let's take out. This is assuming a more control heavy. Because they're not always going to enter untapped. There. Because then 3 Fabled Passages can get me a forest, swamp, or plains. As well as the Renegade maps up here can get me a forest, swamp, or plains. Yeah. Okay. And that sideboard was good for what it was. Historic Mill. Guess what card I get to add? It's a Jace! I finally get to put a Jace into this deck. Jace. The Perfected Mind. His mind has been perfected. I don't know why I switched to... I don't know why I try to do voices, just to then question why I tried to do voices. Actually, no, let's keep that in. It seems it's good in this version. I'm gonna try the actual physical cards in front of my hands. I'm gonna get 3 of this card for my mill deck and try it that way and completely replace the Founding the Third Paths in that one. Because I think that this, just being able to come down on turn 3 and just say, hey, I can hopefully draw 3 cards right then and there. Or turn 3 say, hey, mill 9 cards will hopefully be enough to just push that boundary forward just a little bit. Or even turn 3, your creature is wimpy and will now just bounce off of a crab instead of killing the crab. Any sort of mental thing like that. I'm hoping that it works. I like mill. I want it to work. It doesn't always work. It kind of sucks how much it doesn't work. I just want my stuff to work. Okay. Time for the fun part. I don't play standard. But no, that's just it. I don't play standard. Let's see what we can do with Phyrexia cards. I could go with Aristocrats. So let's go with this one. I'll explain what I'm meaning. Aristocrats. Sacrifice your own stuff. Accrue more value. Damage your opponent via this new value. Win game. Ta-da. Whenever a creature you control dies, do stuff. Sorry, I started thinking way too much instead of actually talking. Basically, I want to find cards that make a token when they die, so that I then still can have extra things to then sacrifice and keep generating value. Like, or I could go more with enters the battlefield, make stuff. I could do that too. Affinity for artifacts. That is an artifact creature. No more than one creature can attack Eternal Wanderer. Each player sacrifices all creatures you do not control. That's double strike. I don't know. That's a good, like, end of the game. Just do something. Sacrifice a creature. Do this other stuff. Can return target creature and give it to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. When it dies, proliferate. Enchanted creature is toxic 2. When it dies, return the card to the battlefield. It says your life, then pay 2 life, you do 2. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. I could do proliferate proliferate shenanigans, sure. Give your opponent a poison counter. Give them a poison counter. Nope. I don't have a lot of rats in this. Whenever another non-token creature dies, change your life to exile it. Oh. This ability triggers only once each turn. Permanent causes you to control a trigger that ability triggers in additional time. I don't know how that would work. Nebraska is a way to proliferate draw cards. When it enters the battlefield, opponent's 3 more poison counters. Shooting. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. Basically, I want it so that I have 2 things that are white. Everything else is just only black cards. So what can I do with the white side that I'm trying to actively do? Enters battlefield with an oil counter. It gains indestructible by removing an oil counter. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1, put an oil counter on it. Sure, we'll do that. Beginning of upkeep, lose a life, create a Phyrexian Might. Yeah, sure, we'll do that too. Create 2 mites. When the deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. Exile target artifact or creature you control that returns to the battlefield on its control. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. 3 or less mana. That's most of these guys. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1, have first strike. Double the tokens, sure. Enters the battlefield, create mites, maybe. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. You know what? Yeah, that's a good finisher. Creatures I control get bigger. Affinity for artifacts, considering all of my mites are artifacts. Aristocrats. It's not good, aristocrats. But I'm trying aristocrats. And this is also a standard deck, so it can't do as much. Let's see, this is... Oh, it automatically set this to the default. That's cool, but not exactly... Nothing's screaming, this is an aristocrat. Wandering Emperor, though. Soren for the color scheme. This art looks cool. Gix. Oh, it's just this card making the sound. I was like, wait, is it making the sound because it's locked? I don't have it. These 2 Jace things are pretty sick. I like Jace a lot. Gix. Gix is a sacrificer person. Where do I get this one from? We're gonna go with this might, because it might be cool. I made pun.
Elspeth, I'm glad to see you still alive.
I don't like that. Koth? No.
Ooh, I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say fair.
I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say fair. Good fair fight, yeah.
I have conquered death, as I will conquer you.
It's a more violent, it's a more violent way to phrase words. Because I can't phrase words. Yeah, you know what? 3 rares, a mythic rare to make another Vraska. Why not? So, I don't play standard, like, at all. So having built this deck with, like, pretty much only Phyrexia all-will-be-1 cards, let's go play a game of Standard in a format that I don't play. I'm probably not gonna go well. I don't know what's like the normal for standard. I have a few standard decks that I don't play in standard. But let's see. Yay, look! An hour and 40 minutes in and we're finally playing a game. Woo! Instead of just looking at cards and artwork and talking about cards. Yay, look! Progress! I have zero ideas what standard will entail. But after this, hopefully, ooh, look, I got the card. And I got another one, and I got another one. Let's keep this. It seems like an okay hand. Plains. Oh, my opponent also got the... Oh, that would have been good last turn. Let's play Skrell's Hive. Well, my opponent's playing with not just new cards. Oh no. Oh, that was a... Oh. That was an art... Like, yeah, that sentence didn't work either. That was a visual effect. Of course I'm playing against a counterspeller. And try again. You got another negate? No? Okay, cool. I'll play this Plains into a Crawling Chorus. You get the poison counter. Each opponent gets a poison counter. Draw a card. Prologue to Phyrexia. I'm damaging myself a lot right now. Whenever I proliferate, hurt my opponent. Wandering Emperor happens, yep.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Okay.
May your
Sure,
blood
block
stand
something. Okay. I'm gonna cast the Plated Onslaught now. Yay. I'm now corrupted. Or well, my opponent is now corrupted. Their name is Golden God. That's kind of funny to me. Or ironic. As long as the opponent has 3 or more poison counters, creatures it controls with toxic have lifelink. These guys have lifelink
Keep
now.
watch for intruders.
I think I'm just gonna destroy my opponent right now. Oh, and Elspeth Resplendent. Okay.
I'm not looking for trouble, but I'll fight if I have to. Show him what you got.
My opponent sacrificed one of your creatures or planeswalkers. You got rid of the Wandering Emperor. Okay. just gonna kill you with poison counters quickly. You're at 8 now. You don't have enough blockers. And I have an annihilating glare.
This is my city, and I'm going to protect it.
Okay, Elspeth. You chose a land? Put a permanent with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield with a shield counter? And you chose a land that enters tapped? And you did that intentionally based on how quickly you clicked it? Like, unless you only got... Unless they only had that as a choice, that was probably the worst pick they could have done. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention to this. I need to cast green spells and blue or red spells. I have a green deck. Anyways, Explorer. Over to Explorer. That was Aristocrats. It did not do Aristocrat stuff. But that was the Aristocrats. Let's see if we can draw any of our new cards in the token deck. Ooh, I'm very happy about this, if you can't tell. Let's see what the token deck does with its new cards in it. Will I even see the new cards? I don't know. Sometimes that's how the game works. You don't get your new cards. Like this hand. I don't have the new cards. But is it good enough to keep? Plains in a renegade map so that if I draw it, I can get a token in that. Yeah, I think this hand is keepable. I'm just gonna hope that I can see the new cards just as the game progresses. This deck tends to go a little slower, and in my... Oh. Unless I control fewer other lands. I got a cat that is sacred. I'm gonna skip my turn. Because I can activate this renegade map, it wants me to. They're running snow lands, which is interesting to me. Tells me that they're probably playing the guy that taps to untap a snow permanent. A Boreal Grazer. No land to put into play, okay. That's good to me, it means that they've slowed down on their ramping already. Actually, let's activate the Renegade map. So I can activate the Fatal Push. Not that Fatal Push needs to be activated. I'm gonna Fatal Push an elf. Having 4 mana is not... 4 mana when I have 3, and I went first is a little scary. Force the hexproof indestructibility. Okay. I forced them to spend a spell. I cannot be upset. Does that mean I just made a bad decision last turn? Probably. Okay, I can play Kaya. I can -2, I can get 2 Sacred Cats. Or I can spend this turn, take 7 damage, play the Anointed Procession, and then do it next turn and get 4 get 4 Sacred Cats. I think I'm gonna try to get 4 Sacred Cats. Yeah, I've got Token Doubler. That's what Anointed Procession means. Opponent. Okay. My opponent's got a 5/4 that's protect. Oh, it is this kind of deck. It is mono green ramp. Or mono green devotion. Whatever you want to call it. I don't like seeing Karn in this deck. Not at all. Oh. Spells I cast cost 2 more. Great. That's gonna come down this next turn. They're telegraphing that they have another one of these. Near Deadlands. Let's play Kaya. That's double tokens.
So many new weapons I want to try out. You can't
Let's
fight
make
all
a
of
token,
this.
which gets doubled and doubled. Yay, 4 tokens. That's it. That's my turn. Opponent, your go. Yeah, my opponent is clearly telegraphing that they have something in their hand. Honestly, if they play the God Pharaoh statue, yep, that's okay. I can still cast all of my spells. The 1 damage each turn is fine. I've got 4 1/1s with lifelink. I'm not even gonna care about that. Kaya dies, I play a new Kaya.
We should regroup and make a plan.
Stand down.
Okay, I can kill Karn this turn. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. I dare you to kill my creatures now. One of them can hit your face. You only have 2 blockers, Karn dies. No matter how you look at it, Karn dies. And I heal for 4.
I will heal
Yeah, I can out-heal this thing. Beginning of their end step, I lose a life. Yeah. Kill a token. You take 1. I gain 1. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks. So if they crew it, they have to use the Shifting Ceratops. They can give it trample, so there's no point blocking. I could -2/-2 the Shifting Ceratops, making it a 3/2. Or I can play this, Bastion of Remembrance, which will mean that anytime one of my tokens dies, I gain 2 life, they lose 2 life, and it makes me 2 more tokens. Or I can play Kaya, give my creatures Death Touch attack. But then they just make, they just make the console into a creature and attack with it. So yeah, Bastion of Remembrance is better. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I have 14 upon death damage. I don't know if they realize how close to death they are. That's kind of cool. Considering I hate playing against my opponent's deck, like that the version of the deck is okay. I don't like the actual deck archetype. Cool. Take 2 damage, I gain 2 life. Force you to give it trample. Yep. Cool, you take 2 damage, I gain 2 life. I smack the spacebar very hard just to emphasize the point. Four, 5. That's 6, 9. 9 total damage I could take. Yeah, I'd rather gain 2 life trading in the small guys. Because I can give this trample, and they can knock off one of my creatures with the Sky Sovereign. I'm taking 6 in the air guaranteed. This is a death trigger, which means that I need my creature to die. Combat damage happens all at once, so if I die before this triggers, I will lose. Therefore, I need 3 creatures to be able to block that, so that 2 of them kill it, but then all 3 will die, which will deal 6 damage and I'll gain 6 life. But I need enough creatures after the Sky Sovereign trigger to still be able to block and kill. And that's not gonna happen. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power. Your creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Put 2 +1/+1s, put 2 -1, and it has 2 -1/-1s. Okay. Yeah, +1/+1 counters and -1/-1 counters negate each other. And now I don't necessarily think I lose, but I don't think well, I still have tokens to block with. Yeah, sure, you get trample. Trample is expected. My creature dies, you lose 2. I gain 2. I'm going to use this now so that I don't draw a land. I don't draw one of those lands, at least. Kaya, give my creature... Okay. Kaya means I gain 3 life. They deal 11.
Innistrād's undead are stubborn, but I'm relentless. I can teach you a thing or two.
But maybe they don't realize that they kill me and therefore go for Kaya. That's my only hope. Or, if they use the Sky Sovereign trigger ability to kill my creatures, they do also still have the 3-land Aura Elves that they could use to attack. Dang it. Well, no, because if they want to crew the Sky Sovereign, they need a crew with the 3 creatures. Yeah, if they kill one of my creatures, I survive. If they don't kill a creature, I have the 1 extra damage from the God Pharaoh statue, but there's still enough. If they shoot down Kaya, I lose. If they attack Kaya, I survive. They're both attacking me. They're shooting down Kaya. Okay. I lose.
Scare me.
But you can understand how much more thinking goes into this game than you probably first imagine. But that's a strategy card game. Oh, sadness I lost. Cast blue or green, cast red or green. Well, no, we lost because we didn't get the new cards. That's what it was. Yep. We lost because we didn't get new cards. Yeah. Yep, totally. So we're gonna play this Rakdos Sacrifice deck. And then we're gonna win because we're gonna draw a new card. Watch it happen. Yep. Yeah, in that last game, I just ran out of token effects. I ran out of repetitive token effects because I didn't draw any. Like, the only way that I could have repeatedly used a token effect. Yes! Look! New card! I'm gonna win the game because I got new card. That's how this works, right? Mountain, Witches up, go! Huh? They're a mill deck! Or they could potentially be a mill deck. Actually, let's do this first. Get a swamp. Because then next turn I can play the Castle Lockthwain untapped, play the Mayhem Devil, then play the Cauldron Familiar the next turn after that to be able to Witch's Oven it, to be able to Mayhem Devil to start shooting things down. Yeah. See, I'm thinking ahead. I'm using my Brian up here. My opponent's name is Chinese? Japanese? I think it's Chinese. No. Now I'm thinking too hard about trying to remember how to... I want to say draw, but I know that's not the right word. But write. I think kanji? Katakana? It's one of those two words. I don't remember. Blood Tithe Harvester. Look, he makes token. Cauldron Familiar. It's a cat! I'm gonna attack to see if they block. Because if they block, I sacrifice the cat and then kill the creature. Look, this is why this is called Cat Oven. Or why this combination here is called Cat Oven. Because you use the Witch's Oven to sacrifice the creature, which is the Cauldron Familiar, which makes a food token. And then you sacrifice the food token to bring back the Cauldron Familiar. It's a cat oven. I'm gonna cat oven now. There's the oven, sacrifice the cat, use the Mayhem Devil, shoot down the Frost Augur, then bring back the cat by sacrificing the food, which triggers the Mayhem Devil, which kills the Frost Augur, which brings back the Cauldron Familiar. Cat oven. Ta-da! Logic. Yep. I'm gonna go to combat. I'm gonna attack with these two. Is dead. Diabolic intent. Sacrifice. Shoot that guy. What do I even want to search my deck for? Honestly, probably a land. Which is sad. Actually, Deadly Dispute might be good. Because then I can draw some cards. I sacrifice this artifact, I get a treasure. Next turn I played Drivnod. Yeah? Yeah, because I don't need anything more than 4 mana. That's an instant, so I can do it on my opponent's turn too. In case they're a mono blue deck, but they're not playing like Merfolk. Like, I'm not following why the Merfolk Secret Keeper was there, because you're not playing mill spells. You're surveilling, sure. Secrets of the Key, investigate the spells cast from a graveyard, investigate twice instead, make a clue token. I'm gonna sacrifice that. I'm gonna ping them for 1. I'm gonna crack this, make the Cauldron Familiar, use the Cat Oven, shoot you for 1, sacrifice the food token that's created to make the Cauldron Familiar come back, which will drain you for 1. I gain 1 life, and then I pass to my turn. And I play the Fabled Passage, which now that I've drawn, I no longer need this treasure token. I shoot you for 1. I should have waited! Because then I could have played Drivnod first. Well, no, if creature dying. The creature's not dying. Here's a Cauldron Familiar. That drains you for 1. I sacrifice this Cauldron Familiar, which Mayhem Devil triggers once. It doesn't trigger twice. Drivnod does not trigger twice. Even though the Cauldron Familiar died. Which is what sacrifice means. Now I'm curious. Let me reread Drivnod better. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability to trigger. No, Mayhem Devil is when a player sacrifices. It's not when a creature dies or when an artifact dies. That's why it didn't trigger twice. It doesn't work that way. Enters the battlefield, drain them for 1. Destroy a creature. Sack a creature. No. Let's get me sacrifice a creature with Phyrexia when you do copy this spell. This devil, when the creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. That would get doubled, because it's when this creature dies, do something. That's a triggered ability. Okay. So Drivnod would only be in here for Ob Nixilis the Adversary. That's a lot worse than I thought. I'm gonna have to explain that interaction to my friend, because he's the one who thought that this would work, and reading it now? Like actively reading it? No. We were wrong. Sad cry. But hey, at least I learned that now instead of like spending money, like actual money on buying the card and trying to get it to work on paper, only to realize, oh, this interaction is wrong. It does not interact. That would feel kind of bad. So at least we know not to do that. Or at least this interaction does not work how we thought it would. Which does mean that I should put something else in here. I could finally get these guys. That's not the people, or not the card that I was looking for. This is a typical aristocrat guy. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses life and you gain a life? Yeah. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers once each turn. Could be good. This would get doubled by Drivnod, because this is when a creature dies. Except for the fact of the ability states this ability triggers only once each turn. That part I'm uncertain about with Drivnod. Although, maybe let's just try the other Dominus. Let's just do the red Dominus instead of this one. Because this one I know works. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, double the damage. That very easily is figured out. Okay. Were there any other new cards that I had put in? Excuse me. Any other new cards, or was it just that? Okay, the lands. Okay, the lands are not that important as new. Misery Shadow is new, technically, but not from the set. New. Okay. Let's try it with the red Dominus now. Okay. I guess it could do traditional Explorer ranked now too, but that's okay. I did not think I would get my opponent's name is Holy Muffin. Oh, there's the new card. I could go Swamp into Witch's Oven, or I could go Meister's Theater into Onicolt Anvil into Witch's Oven. I think I'm gonna keep this though. This is a decent hand. If I draw lands, it becomes even more good than it becomes better than it already was. I hate that I tried to change the sentence as I was stating it and then suddenly made it grammatically horrid. Not just bad, horrid. I stand by that statement. I'm gonna play the Witch's Oven just to progress further, but I don't want that to stick around. Yes, they can bring it back from the graveyard, but it costs more mana. They spent 2 life to cast this card turn 1. I'm glad I did that. Jeez, 3 of them? Wow. Onicolt could sacrifice the Witch's Oven. I think that's worth it right now. This is only a bad idea if I draw the cat this turn. Oh, during their turn cost 1. I'm going to attempt to attack with this and see what they do. Okay, they take 1 damage. I sacrifice it. Onicolt triggers, gives me another token. I Deadly Dispute to draw 2 cards. I play this as my land. It doesn't get its effect, but that's okay. I'm not gonna Onicolt. Witch's Cottage would have put a creature from my graveyard on top of my library if I had more swamps, but I did not have more swamps. Ooh, their creatures are bigger. Ouchie, 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 ouch. Look, them creature be big. I think I'm just gonna let it happen. It's only 6 health. It's only 6 damage. It's fine. Oh, there's the Cauldron Familiar. I knew I'd regret something later. If I sacrifice this to play the Cauldron Familiar, I then can Oni cult away one of those. I'm gonna cast the Cauldron Familiar, sacrificing that. I'm gonna get rid of the flying guy first. I'm gonna get rid of the tapped artifacts. Shoot that one down because that means that that's permanently gone from the game. Now they fit. Oh, okay, now they fatal push it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense what they were holding up. They needed their permanent to leave the battlefield. Life. Okay. I don't have 2 red sources. Oh no. I'm gonna play another Mayhem Double. Remember, player sacrifices it? Yeah, I'll sacrifice it. I ping you in the face! Ta-da! Your life total be lower. Legion's Landing in this deck? I guess it kinda has some token synergies in that deck. I don't. There's an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent. Oh, you sacrificed a non-land permanent. Ping you in the face. Attack you with my artifact. I figured you tried to do that. Oh, finish up combat. Cast my creature. End the turn. Gosh, that'd be painful. That won't be painful. Block. Before the first strike damage, second artifact. I will snap you in the face. Ta-da! I fogged your life gain. Fog is an effect that prevents all damage. That's why that's a funny joke. Ooh, I could immediately do that. I'm just gonna blow that up. Now you have no life gained. Ha 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 ha. Let's do it with casualty because it sacrifices something. Ooh, I could do that. No, let's do the Cauldron for mine. deal 2 damage.
I'm not afraid of any of you.
Create a devil.
You work for me now, Runt.
If you discard a card,
Go ahead.
you don't lose 2
Plead
life.
for mercy.
They did not, in fact, plead for mercy. Yeah, you can gain some life, it's okay. Oh, I don't have 2 cards to discard to this to make my Dominus indestructible. I do have a exile effect. I still deal 2 damage per thing. Let's do that. And before that resolves, I sacrifice this guy. And I'll shoot the other Dark Veteran. Could have just done 6 damage to face, but that's okay. Do I just use or activate the blood token? Oh. Did I have fun in the match? I mean, I was busy trying to use my brain, so I don't know. I would have hit my opponent for 3-7 from those 2. Yeah, I could have killed my opponent. Okay. I was too busy using my brain to even realize I had lethal on the board. Instead of trying to dig for a lethal win, I already had it. Yay! I got a pack! Look, it's Phyrexia all L1. Did get a new card out of a Phyrexian Bat. That kind of looks cool. When you proliferate, return it from your graveyard to your hand. That looks cool. Kind of meh. Graz. The unstoppable Juggernaut. Let's just see. How much of Phyrexia All Will Be One do I already have? What? Release date December 1st, 2022. I feel like that's wrong. Cause you know, the release date was today on Arena, at least. Like the actual release date in paper is Friday the 10th. But okay. So I'm 34 common cards out of having all 4 copies of them. Which is kind of scary considering it's day 1 and I have only just started playing this and I still have the entire like mastery pass to go through to get all the pretty art versions of things. Uncommon cards, I'm missing 4. Rares, I'm missing 13. Mythics, I'm missing 5. Although I did open just the mythic packs specifically. So I got a lot. I got 3 of them from there. 2 of them from there, actually. I'm missing 4 white cards. 4 one-ofs of white cards. I'm missing 6 one-ofs of blue cards. 6 one-ofs of black cards. 3 of red. 7 of green. I'm missing a lot of green cards, apparently. And 3 colorless cards. Can I look at what's the collection button do? I don't know what collection's supposed to do. Probably open the collection. That would make a lot more sense if I didn't just... This looks cool! It looks like peppermint! I know it's supposed to be the colors of Elish Norn, but that looks cool and like pepperminty. The mastery tree, the more I play the... Oh. That's interesting how this looks. Like the last one was a pentagon that like went from here to here to here to here to here, and then like they all met up in the middle. I would expect this to be more of in the shape of this Phyrexian symbol. But okay, it starts with the sphere lands. And a Phyrexian soldier. Another Phyrexian soldier. Okay. Uncommon Phyrexian soldier. Rare Phyrexian soldier. The avatar that you could then play as Elish Norn. The Twilights. And then the Dominus. There you've got the sphere. A Phyrexian wizard. That is uncommon. A rare Phyrexian sphinx. Jingataxis as an avatar. The blue Praetor. The blue Sun's Twilight. And then the blue Dominus. Uncommon artifact that does stuff. Never done token PG. Oh, that's not the good one. Sheoldred as an avatar. The Black Sun's Twilight. Drivnod, that one that we thought would work but then didn't. Well, okay, we thought. My friend and I thought would work the way that we wanted it to, and then did not. Because that's not how that card works. I'm kind of sad that we both missed that, considering he's been like the tournament grinding kind of player until recently with college stuff. But like he's the person who would go to tournaments. Kind of sad that he missed that and was the one who suggested it. And I went, oh yeah, and then it was wrong. Look, another sphere. That one kind of looks cute. Exuberant Fusiling. Phyrexian Goblin Warrior. That looks cute. Rook, Hex Gold Nabber. A Goblin Rebel. Orobrask. Red Sun's Twilight, the bad one. Solfim, Mayhem Dominus. One we just used to win. Totally, that's the only reason I won that game was this guy. Green Sphere. Phyrexian Warrior. Enchantment that makes Phyrexian Beasts. Vorinclex. Green Praetor. Green Sun's Twilight. Zopandrel. Hunger Dominus. The green Dominus guy. Yay! Look, that's the set master. What do they want me to... Oh, I don't have any, so it won't suggest me a pick. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, but look, the more I play this, the more stuff I get to be able to go through that. Ooh. I actually get that Might Overseer guy for free here. I'm glad I didn't try to craft it now, because I just get 4 of it for free here. Saving money. I don't like that this looks like a spider. I don't like that this looks like a spider. I don't like spiders. I know it's only got 3 legs, but it's got that little jaw thing on the side. It's got 4 rows of teeth? This one doesn't. Okay. I don't like it though. Oh, shivers down my spine. 4 of that guy. I'm not actually look through this. What's this one? Rook, the Hex Gold Never, and the other guy. Yay! I kind of just zoned out of what I was doing and zoned into that. Well, that was the first day of Phyrexia All Will Be One. I guess thanks for joining me instead of having the Tower Defense Tuesday that I normally do. Thanks for watching the Tuesday's TCG day. I don't know how frequently I'll do this. I kind of prefer tower defense games just because it's less brain intensive and more focus. That sounds kind of weird. Tower defense games require me to be moving my eyes a lot more, whereas this kind of just lets me sit there and think and use my brain to plot ahead, instead of tower defense games are more of, can I react in time? Did I place this well? Can I think ahead and then upgrade in a way that helps? This is, can I build a deck that counters most strategies that I need to go against, or that I probably will go against, or that I can go against. But thanks for joining me on the release of Phyrexia All Will Be One. I kind of wished that there was a actual cinematic sort of trailer, whether that was just like these people walking in as the planeswalkers while they watch the other 5 that have walked in first, like transforming into the Phyrexian versions and then they clash together and that's it, or just meeting Elish Norn sort of thing. I don't know. I kind of wish that there was a cinematic trailer like they've done for other things, but it's fine. It happens. At least we got new cards and they look cool, and the new set physically, like in paper, is coming out in 3 days. So at least Arena did it beforehand, so you can like look at the cards, play with the cards, and figure out and build new decks. Decide whether or not you feel like buying some of the actual physical cards 3 days before the actual physical cards come out, which is nice. Anyways, tomorrow, tomorrow's plan, if I remember correctly, was just to play, I believe, just playing Genshin Impact and doing some of the domains and other quests sort of things. As far as I'm aware, yeah, let me look to make sure that I've got this right. Tomorrow is in fact a Genshin Impact stream. Yeah, I was right about that. And then Friday, that probably means I've not talked to my siblings yet, but Friday it probably means I'll play Minecraft with my sister, and then Saturday I'll probably play Minecraft with my brother. He seems to not like playing our strategy games, even though that's strategy game Saturday sort of thing. We're sibling Saturday sometimes. I think he kind of gets tired of thinking and being very cocky that he's going to win and then not. And it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad. But that's it for me. I'm gonna not rag on my family because that's a little mean. But yeah, Genshin Impact tomorrow at 9. I will see you guys there, and have a good night.